Okay, so you're going to go vegan?
For me, there's like 2 or 3 different points of interest. Like one of them is very interesting point is obviously the one we're discussing now, which is why am I not able to do what I know is right, or like why am I not changing, basically.
So you know veganism is the right thing to do?
I know eating these kinds of chicken certainly is the wrong thing to do.
I mean, nobody's eating them. They're the
No,
egg,
I
laying.
mean the female.
Buying eggs is the wrong
Yeah.
thing to do. Yeah.
When they're bred like this.
This is standard, right? So it's not just a bad system. Like the organic free range doesn't stop male chick culling.
Yeah.
It's a standard in the process. And even the females, right? After around 80 weeks, they call it depopulation. So they have sheds full of the females that they use for egg laying, and after a certain age, the number of eggs that they lay will start to slow down, so they're not as profitable.
Yeah, okay.
So they basically depopulate, and then they clear out the shed of all the dead bodies, and then they refill with a new batch.
Yes, yes.
So whether it's the females, the males, this is all violent exploitation.
Yes,
Would you agree?
I agree, obviously.
So are you someone who supports violent exploitation?
I mean, it seems like it, doesn't it?
Okay, so does that make you want to stop?
It should, shouldn't it?
It should, right? But will you?
No.
Okay, so this is how, I don't know how much you know about the pig industry or how pigs are slaughtered.
No, I don't know anything about it.
So they're put into gas chambers. So this is standard, whether it's UK, Sweden. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I feel very sad for them.
Yeah. Do you think, like, they're around 6 months old when this happens? Do you think if we did this to 6-month-old dogs, do you think that people would agree with it?
For me, it wouldn't be a difference, but probably not, no.
So you would support both, or you would reject both?
I would treat them likewise.
So do you buy pork?
I buy pork occasionally.
So you would also support if there was 6-month-old
Yes,
pigs?
I would.
Dogs, sorry.
I would, yes.
You would also support. What about humans? Would you support 6-month-old humans being put in gas chambers?
No.
Okay, so what's the morally relevant difference between the pig or the dog and the human, which means that it's wrong to do to the 6-month-old humans, but it's okay to do to the 6-month-old pigs or the 6-month-old dogs?
That they're the same species.
Okay, but what was the morally relevant difference? So what is it about them?
But I understand them. I know this not more. I know there is no moral.
It's not morally relevant.
I know
right?
that there is no moral relevant reason. I remember I was living on a farm there in Argentina with pigs, slaughtering pigs.
Yeah, it's horrible, right? And if you were in their situation, would you want it to end?
Obviously, how couldn't I want it to end?
Okay, so do you not think that if you were in their situation you wanted to end, then it would also make sense for you to stop supporting it?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay, so you're someone who just is okay with that contradiction. Imagine, like, let's forget us for a moment. We're talking to a racist, right? And we had a discussion with them, and they were beating up people on the streets. And you and I had a conversation with them, and we convinced them that this was morally abhorrent. It was a horrible thing to do, and they didn't have any justifications, but they said they're going to carry on doing it anyway. Like, how would you feel about that person?
He's stupid.
Yeah.
He can't process things
Yeah.
rationally.
And also, not just stupid, also like horrible, like morally.
Maybe I wouldn't, because I think that when people are not able to, for instance, come to a reasonable conclusion, it doesn't mean that they are horrible. It means that they are not able to.
Okay, so
I don't believe in evil.
Yeah. Okay, so if I agree with you, if it's somebody who's like maybe they're confused or they didn't know or something like that, but if we've been through the type of conversation we've had, where you've said that it's horrible and it's wrong, and you've looked at this and you've agreed that you would want it to stop, all that stuff, and then you still don't stop, and if I apply that, parallel to some talking about racism or homophobia or something else, and that person understood all those things from the victim's perspective, they weren't confused, but they still refused to stop, even though they understood that this was horrible for the victims, then I think that's ethically that's worrying.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, there's no more I can say to you then. Like, it's sad to me that you won't go vegan, because every day you're not vegan, there are animals being shot in the head for you.
I want to understand you more also.
Sure.
I want to understand. I want to know if you would very briefly could summarize your journey of becoming a vegan and what was like the main reason behind it, and also, yeah, could you say that?
So yeah, sure. I've also lived in lots of countries. I've traveled a lot. So I used to live in Japan. I lived there 14 years. When I went to Japan, I was like, obviously I've been raised in the UK, and I had certain ideas about like killing dolphins is wrong and killing whales is wrong, right? But I would have discussions with Japanese friends, and they were like, okay, but aren't you a hypocrite? Because like if you put a camera inside the pig farms and the chicken farms in the UK, you wouldn't like what you see. So why are you just criticizing the Japanese for killing dolphins and killing whales, right? So I was basically faced with my own hypocrisy.
Claro, but why didn't you want whales and dolphins to be killed? I mean, what motivated you to start being interested in animals' welfare from the beginning?
I wasn't especially motivated in animal welfare. I think just like I would say the majority of people in the UK, I've been the same as, majority of people in Sweden or lots of countries, they would say it's wrong to do, to kick a dog. Like if someone was kicking a dog here, most people would say, that's terrible, right? But they would pay for the pigs in the gas chamber. So I've been raised in a society which is speciesism. I don't know if you know speciesism. So it's like arbitrary discrimination between species. So I've been brought up to think like there are certain animals like dogs or dolphins or whales we should be kind to, but it's okay to be violent to pigs and cows and chickens. That's not based on logic, that's just speciesism. So I've been brought up with those set of values, but the thing about speciesism, it depends where you are, right? Because there's these kind of arbitrary categories that we put animals into, they change slightly, right, according to location. So I was faced with that hypocrisy when I was saying like it's wrong, and I still believe it's wrong to exploit and murder dolphins and whales, right? But you face it when you're at that hypocrisy. You can either be consistently violent to everyone or consistently peaceful, right? So you've chosen, when I brought up the dog example, you said, I'd be okay with being violent to the dogs and the pigs, right? So you're choosing violence to everyone in order to make it consistent. I chose the other direction. So I choose be peaceful to both the dog and the pig, or be peaceful to both the dolphin and the chicken, right? Which do you think is a better direction to go? Consistently violent or consistently peaceful?
Consistently peaceful.
Okay, so you're going to go vegan?
No.
I don't have any more to say. That's sad. For them, not for me.
You can't expect that from me. I mean, you open a door in me. You show me again.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thankful for that. Thank you for that. But I'm not gonna say something that I can't stand behind.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to, but I'm also not gonna for me, right? I'm not going to say, oh, that's great that you're not going to become vegan, right? Because that would be a betrayal to the victims, right? I'm here to speak up for them and hold people accountable for the violence that's happening to them.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not like, oh, I'll give you a pat on the back for having the conversation. Like, this is nothing.